we have learned that Java provided 8 primitive data types: int, double, float, boolean, and short and stuff. 8 primitive. They are called primitive because they are not created from classes. But sometimes you do want to apply some methods to these data types. Java provided wrapper classes for all these primitive data types. A wrapper class is a class that is wrapped around a primitive data type, and they are part of Java Lang package. So remember we said you need to import all packages, explicitly specify import package if you want to reference a class in the package. However, the only one that you do not need to import is the Java Lang package. You can directly invoke those classes inside Java Lang without specifying an import statement. Wrapper classes allow you to create objects to represent a primitive. They are immutable, which means that once you create an object, you cannot change the object's value, just like string. To get the value stored in an object, you must call a method, accessor, right? Or sometimes we call getter. Wrapper classes provide static methods that are very useful. The first wrapper class we are going to talk about is the character class, which is a wrapper of char data type. The character class provides methods that allow easy testing, processing, conversion of character data. For example, is digit is at 0 to 9, or is letter is at A to Z, uppercase or lowercase. Is letter or digit, is lowercase, is uppercase, is space char. All these you can see can be very useful, especially when you are doing natural language processing or some kind of text parsing. This, whether they are digit or a letter, can be very helpful and can be required. Do you want to test whether the answer, for example, if you want to test whether the user actually types in a number before you want to convert that user input to a number, right? These can be useful. And there's character testing and conversion. You can also do a to lowercase and to uppercase. Now, remember, this is character class, right? So char primitive data type does not have this. In order to convert a char class to uppercase or to lowercase, you will need to put a character class wrapper outside it. Java also provides numerical wrapper class for the numerical data types: byte, double, float, integer, long, short. All of them are created just by, are named just by put the first character to uppercase. To create an object from this wrapper class, you will pass the value to the constructor. So int number will be new integer 7. Integer number equals to 7. And there's also a very useful method called parse methods. The integer class has a method that converts a string to an int, and double class has a method that converts string to a double. They are called parse byte, parse int, conveniently called integer parse int, double parse double. Remember, in the string class, we have a value of method. Value of method will convert a primitive data type to a string. So if it's 2599, then value of the string value of method will convert this 2599, 2599 to a string of 2599. Whereas this integer parse int method will convert this string of 2599 to an integer of 2599. So these are the two ends of the two sides of the coin, of the data type conversion coin. Parse int, integer parse int, double parse double, and the string value of. the toString method of this wrapper classes accepts the number as an argument and convert this to a string. So it will be the same as the value of method of a string. So it will have a binary string to hex string and to octal. They are more versatile because you can get a binary string, hex string, and the octal string, and the regular toString. Right. It will also have two special values, min value and max value for the wrapper class, numerical value wrapper class. So even I don't remember what these min and max are. When I need it, I always just try to type this integer min value and the max value. And finally, you can declare a wrapper class variable and assign a value. This is you may think this is error, but this number is a wrapper. It's called auto-boxing. Auto-boxing can lead to confusion though. Let me show you an example. So this is an example I quickly created. You can see integer I equals to 1000 and j equals to 1000, 999 plus 1 is I equals to j. So before that, let's print out I and print out j. You can see that I is 1000, which is not surprising. J is 1000, but I equals j returns a false. Why? And here is one issue always remember, because wrapper class define objects. So when you have I, this 1000 is a primitive data type, but it's actually converted to an object of integer wrapper class. Similarly, j is the object of integer wrapper class. So when you do this I equal to j, you are not evaluating the value of these two objects. Instead, you are evaluating the reference of these two objects. It's the same. If I put a string here, like hello and hello, you will see the difference. But because this looks so familiar, so similar to primitive data type, a lot of students make mistakes here. Okay, so this is something you need to pay attention to.